everyone, my name is Whitney Rampley, and I have taken a couple of clips from Fast Times at Ridgemont High and made them into one in order to do my teaching analysis. So here we go.
Aloha. My name is Mr. Hand. I have but one question for you. Can you attend my class? It is for your own good, and if you can't make it, I can make you. We have a 20-question quiz every Friday. Your grade is the average of all your quizzes, plus the midterm and final, which counts for 1/3. Got it? Also, there will be no eating. E-A-T-I-N-G. No eating in this class.
In the beginning of the clip, Mr. Hand walks into the room with such confidence in order to assert his own authority over the classroom. He does a wonderful job of asserting this authority. However, he then continues to make demands of his students. He takes a hat off of a student's head. He takes something out of a student's mouth that looked like a cigarette, so I can kind of understand that one. And then he takes candy out of a student's hand and is inserting it into his pocket. Many parents would not appreciate the fact that a teacher is snatching something out of their kids' hands.
You get used to doing your own business on your own time. That's one demand I make. Just like you wouldn't want me to come to your house some evening and discuss U.S. history on your time. Understand?
Mr. Hand does something here that many parents will not appreciate. He gets into a student's face. I can understand the comparison that he is trying to make by talking about going to her home on her time. However, there are better ways of handling a situation than getting into your student's face.
This guy's been stoned since the third grade.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm registered in this class.
What class?
This is U.S. history. It's in the globe right there.
Really?
May I come in?
Oh, please. I get so lonely when I hear that third attendance bell ring and all my kids are not here.
Many teachers resort to sarcasm in order to handle their students. However, it is not the best option. In this scenario, Mr. Hand is using sarcasm in order to belittle this student who has came into the class late and seems like he is just clueless as to what is going on. If he were to go home and tell his teacher or his parents what his teacher did, they probably would not appreciate it, and it only gets worse from there.
Sorry I'm late. It's just like this new schedule's totally confusing. Yeah, I know that, dude.
Mr. Spicoli.
That's the name they gave me. You're ripping my car.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
No problem at all.
So Mr. Hand takes the card from the student's hands and then rips it up into a bunch of little pieces and throws it to the ground. This is very disrespectful towards the student. He then goes further to get into the student's face. We should understand as teachers that when we do something that might come across as combative, the best option is not to take a further step towards combativeness, such as getting in our student's face. It's just very, very poor teaching.
I think you know where the front office is.
You dick!
I have taken the time to print out a complete schedule of class quizzes and the chapters they cover. Please pass them to the desks behind me.
Bravo, Mr. Hand. In this moment, he has done something that is truly wonderful in my eyes. He stopped being combative towards the student and walked away. So far, we have learned as up and coming teachers that in order to handle a combative situation, it is often best just to step away, especially if it seems that your student responds best when you are combative with them, therefore, feeding on your response and keeping the interaction argumentative or combative.
C, D, F. 3 weeks we've been talking about the Platt Amendment. What are you people? On dope?
As you can see in this portion of the clip, Mr. Hand does a couple of things that are not good classroom management. He betrays his students' trust and their privacy by giving their grades out loud so that everyone in the class can hear what grades they received, and therefore he could be belittling or embarrassing his students, making them not want to do better. Then he goes further to accuse the classroom of being on dope. I know that he may not really think that they are on dope, but he is therefore making it seem like they are inadequate or possibly even stupid. And this is just very poor teaching.
A piece of legislation was introduced into Congress by Senator John Platt. It was passed in 1906. This amendment to our Constitution has a profound impact upon all of our... Where is Jeff Spicoli? I saw him earlier today near the first floor bathrooms. Is he still on campus? Anyone? Yes, Desmond?
I saw him by the food machines
How long ago?
right before class.
Okay. Bring him in.
Mr. Hand is in the middle of a lecture and he is trying to explain the importance of what he has tested them over, and they have clearly not understood. He stops in the middle of this lecture when he notices that a student is missing. He is overtaken by his dislike for this student or for the fact that the student is skipping class, and instead of teaching the class like he should, he not only stops the class, but he sends another student to go and retrieve the missing student.
What is this fascination with truancy? What is it that gets inside your heads? There are some teachers in this school who look the other way at truancy. It's a little game that you both play. They pretend they don't see you, you pretend you don't ditch. Now who pays the price later? You.
Although Mr. Hand is showing his aggravation towards skipping classes, he is doing a good job of getting the students to possibly come to the understanding that he's not the one that benefits from them being in the classroom. They are.
Wait a minute, there's no birthday party for me here. Oh, Mr. Hand,
What's the reason for your truancy?
just couldn't make it on time.
You mean you couldn't or you wouldn't?
It was like a full crowd scene at the food line.
Food will be eaten on your time. Why are you continuously late for this class, Mr. Spicoli? Why do you shamelessly waste my time like this?
I don't know.
I like that. I don't know. That's nice. Mr. Hand, will I pass this class? Gee, Mr. Spicoli, I don't know.
Again, Mr. Hand is using his sarcasm on the student, and not using this moment as a teaching moment. He is taking time away from the class, away from them learning something that they need to be learning in order to prove a point to one student or possibly even the whole class. And the point that he is trying to make is not one of a positive agenda, it is one for his own agenda. This is a very poor teaching moment.
That's nice. I really like that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course, Mrs. Spicoli.
All right.
So, at the last portion of this clip, Mr. Hand is not pushing his students forward. He is belittling the student. He is possibly even being detrimental towards the student's growth. He is contributing to the fact that the other students are laughing at this student. Parents would often feel like this is taking part in bullying. This is not something that a teacher should do. So, overall, Mr. Hand does a very poor job of managing his classroom. He is too caught up in trying to seem like he owns the classroom, that the classroom is his domain, and that things will go as he wants them to go. As a teacher, you have to be willing to let some things slide in order to teach your students, and Mr. Hand will not let things go. So that is the end of the clip. Hope you enjoyed.